Ninja.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Caffeine and Sensu Beans podcast, where we take a look at some Dragon Ball content. Right now, we're reviewing Dragon Ball movies. I'm joined by the usual suspects, Chiwin and Blessed. Gentlemen, how are you?
Doing well, man. You guys? Chiwin?
I'm doing pretty good. Just we're talking offline just about, our bodies and just aging and as you grow older and what that entails, and play soccer yesterday, but like I'm feeling it in my body, which I didn't really, you get told that when you're young of like, oh, you're gonna feel it when you get older, but it really is true. You know what I'm saying? Like it is true. Just like
was it cold?
Was it cold? It was a little cold. It was a little cold. It's probably the coldest time that we've ever been out there.
Hey, you gotta love the response though of like, you guys want to be there tomorrow, rain or shine or thunder.
You like that? The thunder?
The commitment of the players.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, they must be having fun.
But it's true. We did some conditioning. Did a few some workout on the legs. We worked out the legs a little bit. Chiwin's feeling it in the gluteus maximus area.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I averted an emergency yesterday too. So that was.
Oh, dude, that was pretty.
I don't know if I can talk about that. I don't know if I can talk about that on the air, but it was.
Please say it on the airwaves of this.
You already brought it up at this point. At this point, if you don't say it, it's like, oh.
Well, let's just say it has to do with bowel movements. Like I left my house and I was feeling good, and then mid ride, it hit like a.
Like you don't want to make a stop at this point. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have to stop. I literally had to stop. I had to get out of the freeway.
Well, because there's the bathrooms at the field we go to, they're locked.
Really far at this point.
Dude, that ride felt long yesterday. It was rough. I'm telling you that. It was a crisis averted. I'm a grown ass man. And you know what I'm saying? It's just like, it just happens, dude. But
yeah, and the thing is, like, wherever you get off, it's almost hit or miss too, because you never know if the bathrooms are going to be open at the establishment
or how they're going to be.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, you don't even care.
Yeah, I don't really care at that point, dude. You don't even care at that point.
Take care of it.
No, you were bringing up a really valid point there, though. Because it's like, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, I can't stop at certain gas stations because I know they're not going to let me go in the bathroom.
Dude, that happened.
Or like, damn, I might looking like I need gas right now, even though you just filled up.
Yeah. Tank is on full.
$5, just get me in there, bro. And then they give you that little keychain.
Yeah, that little ass.
It's like the big ass rim.
Like when they have the damn the slippage signage. I'm like, bro, what has happened here?
Yeah, the bathrooms are insane. But yeah, man, that's kind of what happened to me yesterday. But luckily we were able to avert the crisis, but we were close.
Good on you, dude. Because once you get out to that field, 90% chance that the bathrooms or the restrooms are not open.
Yeah.
Or if they are, they got that sick toilet paper.
Yeah, that's just
Just thin, bro. If it has toilet paper.
It's basically
hopefully
paper
someone
towels.
within the year took a time to stop by and maybe reload it.
Yeah, dude. I remember, like, that's the shit that Omar had, our friend Omar. Like, he had that in his apartment. And I'm like, dude, why do you have this here? Like, this is not something. And he's like, dude, they gave it to us at school. I'm like, dude, yeah, but it's not.
It was in the store. It was right there in the bathroom. I got to take it, bro.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, yeah, but this isn't for the bathroom, dog. Like, this isn't an alternative to toilet paper. It'll rip your stuff to shreds.
Oh,
yeah. Nah, we've all had those moments. I had one like that too when we went, because my girlfriend, she likes the this Puerto Rican restaurant. I think it's nice and close though, and I like it too. To be fair, I do too.
Where's
But
it
it's
at?
just, I tell her, listen, if we're gonna go here, we got to go early because this thing is a trip. Like it's in San Rafael,
Mhm.
and
It's a
from
hype.
my house, huh?
It's a hype to get there.
It is. Oh, and if from my house it takes maybe about an hour to get there, and so we get there. I need to use the bathroom so bad, and I'm like, okay, when we get there, I'm gonna use the bathroom, and then I'm like, we get there. I ask, hey, can I use the restroom? And they say, oh, unfortunately, it's for employees only. Dang it,
Jeez.
dude. I go to the
Jeez.
establishment next to this place. They say, "Oh, unfortunately, our bathrooms aren't open." So they say, "Try the Walgreens down the street." I'm walking to the Walgreens down the street, and right
While
now,
holding
like,
it.
well, I'm holding it in, dude, and I'm getting close. Like, I'm like, dude, I'm gonna have to just do something here. All right, I'm gonna have to take drastic measures. All right, this is it. Like, at this point, you gotta survive. And I go into Walgreens. Okay, so I go to the Walgreens, I go to the pharmaceutical, like the pharmacy, and I'm like, hey lady, I really need the restroom. At this point, I'm super irritable, I'm like losing my senses because you know how you get,
You
dude.
can't even walk straight.
Yeah, like you can't think, like your brain is starting to rattle. And I'm like, I need to use the restroom now. And they're like, sorry, the restrooms are closed. Dude, I'm gonna lose it, dog. Dude, I get out, dude. Okay, and San Rafael. Okay, there's some people there. All right, there's some people on the street. Okay, and but I get out of the Walgreens, and I'm like completely I'm out of it. Like I'm just completely out of it, and I'm looking for anything. And I even told my girlfriend, like I called her on the phone, like this restroom's closed. I'm gonna have to do it. Like I'm gonna have to go in this alley, and you're gonna have to somehow protect me, like block me. And she's like, I mean, if we have to do it, we have to do it. And so, dude, by the grace of God, like I walk out of the Walgreens, and as I'm walking, I see this alley to my right that I had never seen. And there's this thing is cool. All right. It's this beat up public porta potty that's slanted. I don't even know how it's slanted, dude. It is, dude.
It's like God talking to you right there, dude.
Yeah, and there are two very suspicious individuals right next to it, right?
They know this happens a lot.
Yeah, and I'm like, ugh. I have to
Another
bite
one.
the bullet. I knew what I was getting
There goes
into.
another one.
Oh man,
Dude, I mean, it said this is how you know this thing is nice. This thing is taken care of. Like the what is it? The lock. It said occupied, so it was on red.
Yeah. But it was
And I
open.
waited there for a little bit. And I waited there for a little bit, and I'm like, dude, this fool is wrecking this thing. And then only to find out that no one's in there. That's just, it doesn't work. And so
Geez.
I'm like, well, now I'm going into this thing. There's two very suspicious individuals, and this thing isn't going to be locked. Like I can't lock this thing. So I got to get in and get out. Dude, I get in. I'm telling you right now, if you guys have ever drone over the Dumbarton Bridge, that thing smells like the most citrusy cologne compared to this porta potty, dude. All right. What I saw in there, dude, I was ready to call what's his name, Gavin Newsom, and I was like, "You come over here right now, dude." What I saw in there,
here, dog.
I never seen that color. I've never seen that texture in my life, dude. Splattered everywhere, dude. Vicious, dude. I came out.
Traumatized.
I held my breath for as long as I could, and yeah, dude. I mean, I had to do it. Luckily, I mean, yeah, the big guy upstairs, he
Spoke
he
to
helped.
you,
I mean,
man.
I can't complain.
hey,
dude.
that
At the end of the day, I
or
was
doing
able
it
to use
outside by them.
Huh?
Either do it in the porta potty or outside by those two.
Yeah, I mean, this
suspicious
thing was
individuals.
coming out either way.
It was
The
gonna have
thing
to
was
come
coming
out.
out either way.
I'm telling you, man, it's serious, man. You get in that zone. That's what happened to me yesterday. I'm like, dude, I might have to this might really happen in the car, dog. Like this
you
is
might
really,
buy a meal.
you
At
might
this
have to
point
you might
get
have
to
to
the
accept
bathroom.
your fate. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the reality of
I
it.
might have
But
to drop
I think it's a
something
good
in the
segue
car.
into our movie, though. As to what our movie is.
All right. Yeah, actually, that's not a bad.
It's a good
Not a
segue to
bad
our movie.
segue.
We're not just talking about our bowel movements for no reason, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you let the listeners know what movie we're talking about?
We are talking about Bio Broly today. So
Yes, we are.
that is people say that he looks like a big giant piece of poop. So yeah, that's
Just a huge walking turd.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I based the whole movie off one picture of that guy, Bio Broly.
Yeah.
I judged the movie out of that.
Well, on that note, one word to summarize the movie. What would you guys give it? Chewin, I'll go to you.
um surprised.
Bless.
Blown away.
Okay. I'll say pleased. I guess it's safe to say, based on the adjectives we decided to go with, that this movie, it wasn't what we expected it to be.
Yes.
So, I know Bless is kind of chomping at the bit to get in. So why don't you go ahead,
Yeah,
man?
just
Why
let
don't you
it loose, man. Let it loose.
I can't believe like how hard I would judge this movie. Like, bro, listen to the past episodes. Like, respect for that movie. Respect for that movie.
Yeah.
Bro, like it's crazy that we literally set ourselves up for this movie. Like it's crazy that we set ourselves up. Like for me, it checked off every box that I want from a Dragon Ball Z movie. Like give me something like that, but with Goku and Vegeta. Like
or maybe not. Oh yeah, but go ahead.
Only because dude, this movie's 30 years old. Like the fact that they did like that story was for how many 45 50 minutes
45 minutes.
That story was nuts, but for me it was everything that I wanted. Like
in a movie,
there is no Goku and Vegeta. They ain't coming. They're not coming.
I'm sure he doesn't make a cameo at the end though.
Yeah, true. Dude, that movie, I mean, they're there. Like literally, like that's what I felt like I was watching with Goten and Trunks. I felt like I was watching Goku and Vegeta. Trunks taking it for the team while Goten is saving everybody.
Yeah.
Vegeta's buying times for Goku. Like that's just the way it's gone. Like they did such a great job with this movie, like to include Goku and Vegeta without including Goku and Vegeta.
In spirit.
Yep.
Right.
Like it was I was like, dude, I can't believe how hard I judged this movie. And like Bio Broly is perfect. That's not Broly. Like Broly's dead. Like that is us trying to make something that's gone, something that we can try to control. Mm-hmm. And the thing that I love the most is there was only one ending for that character. Eventually he was going to become so big, he's going to hit the water.
Yeah.
So wow. They
this man.
They did it. They did it right, man. Like
this man is glowing right now with this
that was
review.
Like it was so good. Like I couldn't believe. Like I literally judged it just off of Bio Broly, like how he looked. Like it makes sense if you actually watch it. Mm-hmm. And like, okay, so what do you want then? Do you want Goku and Vegeta just fighting, or do you want something else?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we already had Android 13. Apparently, it was really good. And we loved it. So, like, what is it? Like, which one do you want? Okay, now do you want that with Goku and Vegeta? So now let's do something. Like, dude, the thing that I love the most is this isn't Broly. Understand that this is not Broly. Like, they toned it down where it's my boy Satan couldn't handle it, but it was serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was important, but it wasn't the real Broly.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And so they did it right. They did it right. They did it right, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to some of those points that you brought up, but when you said surprised, get your take on it, like what you thought, and why you chose the word surprise.
Yeah, I mean, I well, you know, it's a hard follow up to that raving review.
Yeah.
I'm not on that level of ecstatic about it, but like I was genuinely surprised by it. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought it was pretty solid. I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed. I actually thought the comedy was probably the best comedy that I've seen so far out of the movies we've seen. Sometimes Dragon Ball tries to hit comedy, but I think in this one they're in their bag. You know what I'm saying? Like they're in their bag with Hercule. Hercule I think is underrated of how funny that fool is, and like he's in his bag in there, and I love the fact that he got some more time. I love the way they portrayed 18, like a strong female warrior, and like I thought she was a badass, and I wish that they would do that more often. But I thought it was cool to have like a female lead that was like strong and like she could like up, you know, hold herself, and like she doesn't need all this stuff. So I thought that was pretty tight. I do have some knocks on it. I actually have a couple of knocks on it, but for right now, I'll leave it there. I was genuinely surprised by the film. I thought it was pretty good. It's a different story, and I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, same here. I was like halfway through the movie, I'm like, yeah, I'm waiting for it to suck, like, because everything I had
Yeah,
heard
yeah.
is like it's got to suck, and you know, part of me wanted it to suck, part of me didn't want it to suck, and part of me wanted it to just like let the chips fall where they may. Like it is what it is. But and I say part of me wanted it to suck because that's what my preconceived notion was, you know, like this thing is gonna suck. We've been saying it's gonna suck. Well, it's gotta suck, but it doesn't, you know. And I think a lot of that, at least Bless talked about why he shaped his view on the movie or how he shaped it. And mine was to do it like social media. I would hear YouTubers, they talk about like, oh, Bio Broly, it sucks, you know. And that and then when I would see like just clips, not even clips, just images, like imagery or screenshots, I'd be like, well, that dude, this doesn't make any sense. Like, how are like Trunks and Goten gonna be able to take on Broly? Why
Mm-hmm.
is Broly like this mutant? Like things didn't make sense to me, and so it was like very easy for me to dismiss the movie. But then, yeah, when I'm watching it, I'm just like, man, this is like, I don't know if they meant to put, like, I don't know what they thought this movie was gonna be, but if they put like all their effort into it, like for Fusion Reborn, we know they were gonna come out like with everything they've got because it's like a big character. They're gonna reveal Gogeta. It makes sense. Like they're gonna pull out all the stops. But for this one, I don't know if they put that same level of effort, but they still ended up putting out a good product. And uh yeah, I liked it. And no, so that's my thing. What I was gonna say is like, I'm still trying to answer, was this movie as good as I think it is because my expectations were so low coming in,
Mm-hmm.
or is the movie genuinely a good movie? Because like me saying the movie is a good movie, like
Mm-hmm.
I know that that is not going to resonate with the average Dragon Ball fan, you know, like, but when I see the movie, like,
It all makes sense. But that's the problem with this movie is like literally in every episode we've always wanted it. We wanted the story to make sense,
yeah,
right?
Stay
Like
consistent.
and what else have we talked about is 50-minute is their mark. Whatever maybe that's not on them. Maybe they know their fans,
mm-hmm.
and maybe to me it's like whether or not like it's the popular like it's a good movie, man. Like you have to take away because it's Dragon Ball Z that you need Goku and Vegeta on screen.
And I wonder if that's part of the reason why folks don't like the movie. And I do have like a knocker. So I'm probably in between Blessed and Chiween on this, like as far as where my level of excitement is for this movie. Um, but I wonder, like, but it certainly is not what it was, you know. I'm trying to understand like what it is that the general fan feels towards the movie, because like if you were to take a poll, people will probably say this movie's trash, and I'm trying to understand why. Like, why is that the case? Is it because Goku and Vegeta aren't like the prime characters? Is it because they make Broly, because in their minds, like, dude, Broly is supposed to be this animal, how is he losing to Trunks and Goten, right? Like I don't know, right? But I agree. I like it. I mean, 18 is great. I know people love 18. Like, a lot of
She held
people,
it down.
a lot
Like
of
she
people
held it
love
down.
18. Krillin was there. I mean, shoot, dude.
Boy came
Krillin
out with the
showed up.
Destructo disc. I'm like, this man
How
hasn't
was
buzzed
When he
that
was,
that?
thing out in
yeah, when he
ages.
was,
Hey, he wasn't scared though.
he
Yeah.
wasn't,
Hey,
dude.
he
When he
went
was
in there. He
preparing
went
that
in
thing,
there. Hey, he
yup.
went in there, hair and
He looked
everything, bro.
fly too. He looked fly. Hercule is like, he's so good, dude. He's like the number one survivor. Like that dude
That's the
is
boy, dog.
not yeah.
He was
That's the
really good
Dude,
in
boy.
that's
this
my
one.
sister's favorite character in all the Dragon Ball fighting games. Like I don't know why. Like
It
man,
really
so
begs the
in
question
love.
of like, how come they never gave him his own show, like his own spinoff? Like I think he has enough there.
Hey,
Like I think he's funny, where
there's
to
enough
the point.
different characters
Hmm.
around him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it would be a
Yeah,
different
I
group of
wonder
Dragon Ball
why.
Z characters.
I mean,
Like
let's be honest. The reason why, because the casual, actually, I don't know, but I would
oh,
say
say it.
why I think, and I think it's because the casual fan wouldn't see Hercule as like a cool character,
Above.
the casual average fan, you know. Um he doesn't his character, like his persona, it doesn't scream badass. Maybe it does to the citizens of I forget the name of the city they're in. Maybe it does to them, but like I mean, I love the way Hercule maneuvers, how he like I said, he's not alive because of his skill. Like he's alive because he's the number one survivor. The dude knows how to live
He
and he
knows how to
knows
play
how
the
to
game.
portray an image.
He knows how to
Hmm.
negotiate.
Exactly. Like the fact that people really thought this man was gonna take on Cell, perfect form Cell, and he was gonna wipe him out. Like, come
Or that
on.
he was actually going to handle business in there.
Yeah,
And
dude.
that boy knew exactly why Android 18 was going.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
Goten and Trunks, like that was the real. They were like the thing is like this movie was done so well. It's like you have two main characters. You know what I'm saying? Like you have Kid Trunks. I mean, Kid Trunks and Goten fighting Broly, Bio Broly, and then you have Mr. Satan over there just trying to survive. So
Yeah,
it's like you got a lot going on, but it all correlates together.
Hmm.
yeah.
I mean,
Um,
let's be honest. I would have been so scared jumping in that seawater to get away from that slime and
my
think
boy,
about
he
swimming away. Like I would
wait,
be
didn't
thinking,
he
what's under
fall
me?
in?
Hey, you got to survive, like you said.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in the water. Eventually, you got to make a decision. Am I jumping off this cliff into the water, or do I just sit here and let the slime take me out?
I mean, yeah, nah, you're right. You're
I
speaking
mean,
facts.
we all.
Everyone else died, or everyone else,
I
or
mean,
most.
they're getting carried out.
The
They ain't
only dudes that
surviving on their
survived were
own.
nuts. Yeah, like nuts characters. But yeah, to answer your question, Cheween, like the reason why I think he never got like a spin-off is just because there are main characters and then there are side characters, right? And side
Hmm.
characters, if they don't like have that badass like dimension to them, I don't know that the casual fan or like the average fan is gonna enjoy that character as a main character. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, yeah, okay, they can be there for some comedic relief or something like that, but as the main character, I don't know. Like for instance, Trunks, I mean, is he a main character? Is he a side character? You could argue he's a side character that gets main character plots sometimes,
Hmm.
but I think he could have a series on his own. Like Hercule. I like Hercule. Hercule is hilarious to me. I don't know. I mean, I see Blast just laughing, but uh, yeah. I mean, I'd like to see it, but listen, I don't know. I don't know if the casual fan would feel it.
It's just
Yeah.
so funny that you have to like find issues with this movie.
Now
Like,
there's some pretty obvious issues. Now let's not paint it as this is the
I
perfect
mean,
film.
compared to what a Dragon Ball Z movie, like, I don't know, man. I can't believe, like, bro, like, just the simple fact. Did you guys catch when they threw out? This is how old is this movie?
Give me a sec. I'll find
Sorry, I
out.
don't know off the top of my head.
Mm-mm.
At least 30,
Uh-huh. What were you
Probably.
gonna say?
around 30. They mentioned lift in it.
Wait, what?
Listen to it. Watch the. Just rewatched it this morning. Then when the scientists are all rushing into the elevator,
Uh-huh.
you'll hear in like the jar, like, oh yeah, take a look. They say take a lift, like that's, you just hear it.
Yeah,
It's
but
a,
in British English, the lift means elevator, dude.
oh well, I mean, to me, it's like I'm just thinking like it's just good
They
way everyone
foreshadowed.
gets.
They foresaw
Like everyone's
the
stressed out.
transportation
Like
service.
everyone got what they deserve in this movie.
Yeah. Hold on,
Yeah.
I'm trying to find out how old this movie is.
Yeah, I liked it. I think I
Well,
thought it
even
was
then, oh sorry.
I thought it was pretty funny. The way they set up many of the things. I thought many of the characters had reasons to be there. Um, there I thought the fighting was pretty good, even though there wasn't that much fighting in the film. It was still pretty entertaining. I liked when they were fighting against the other bio warriors. Um, I thought the little guy was a pretty funny antagonist to Hercule. The little guy,
Mhm.
what's his name? His name is
I forgot his name too.
yeah, Lord Jaguar.
There you go.
Yeah, Lord Jaguar. He was pretty funny. I do think it's interesting though that he was holding on to this grudge for this long. You know what I'm saying? And it was like this grudge stayed with him for this long, and he's now still gonna come back. So
What I like is what got Hercule to go over there was the fact that Lord Jaguar knew what happened at what was it? Was it a
the
camp?
camp, yeah, it was a camp.
Years ago when they were little kids, and that was what tilted Hercule, Mr. Satan, to go.
That's my first knock with the film, to be honest with you. I don't think that's a strong. I'm like, dude, what? That's a you're blackmailing me with a picture of a 12-year-old peen. If anything, that's problematic just for doing that. So I didn't really think that was a strong enough, at least to me, in my opinion, a strong enough blackmail to get
A
Hercule to
reason for
go
Hercule to actually go out there.
and to take it serious. Like to me, like
Right.
you know what I'm saying, like he like the way they're setting it up is like, you're gonna fight against this fucking like these beasts, right? Like, and it's
Right.
all because they caught you peeing when you were 11, 12 years old. And that to me, yeah, it could be goofy, you know what I'm saying, it could be that, but to me, just me
Probably not worth
personally,
risking your life over.
it's not worth risking your life. And I'm like, okay, dude, just release the photo. I have enough money, and that's
to
that's it.
censor it.
So yeah, that's kind of
Yeah,
my
I mean,
first. That's kind of my first knock with it.
yeah, and then I didn't think about that. I guess because at that moment I was still trying to like, I don't know, I was still trying to come to grips with the movie, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be so trash. At one point, it's going off the rails. Uh, I guess, yeah. I mean, they could have heightened the stakes, been like, this dude's actually gonna do something malicious,
Mm-hmm.
to like his family or something, or Vidal, I don't know, something like that. Um, and yeah, I didn't think about that. So yeah, I mean, I could see why. Like you'd say, oh, I wish they would have done something more noteworthy that would make Hercule actually go out to fight this guy. But I will say this, like Hercule, he cares so much about his public persona, like his public image, that he's willing to go to drastic heights to save that image.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but in terms of like, so as far as like consistency with the character, it's consistent. In terms of raising the stakes for the story, not really the case. But I mean, once you're there, the fighting ensues, and like, um, I think, yeah, I see where you're coming from, but yeah, I know I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
Is this movie based in? Where is this movie based in? This one, like where are they at? Are they in Japan? Where are they in this movie?
Nah, dude, they're what's the city that they live in? Can't believe I'm
Like,
forgetting the city.
like are the scientists Japanese? I'm
would
only
assume
wondering
so.
because like why did they call the elevator lift?
It was probably just a translation, dude. Like they just
Like
they just translated it. It's the dub.
Gotcha.
It's the dub version of it.
Gotcha,
So
gotcha. Okay, all right,
they
sorry.
changed some of the wording in there, but Yeah,
I was just
they're
trying
just
to figure
making it
out
more
like,
why they say that.
no,
Oh.
no, I just thought it was. I'm trying to figure out, okay, where is it? Like, where is this story at?
I want to know where this is another knock that I have on the film. I could just keep going with knocks on the film, but
Go
it's
for
just
it. I don't know why you're holding
it's
back.
where does this take place? Like in regards to timeline wise, like that's not really made clear to me. Because the kids are little. 18 is there, so it could be in between Fusion or like in between the Android and the Majin Buu saga, but the it doesn't add up. I think the timeline, like is they're having this tournament like right before Majin Buu or
I think it's right before Majin Buu because Krillin's got the hair, Goku's dead. Um,
Broly is dead.
but
yeah,
does
I don't
Broly
know.
happen before Majin Buu?
Broly does happen before Majin Buu. Broly happens like the first movie, and we'll watch it eventually. Uh, when they can only go Super Saiyan 1, so like regular or yeah, just Super Saiyan. Um, so Broly is in between like shoot, I want to say like in between Cell and Frieza.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then this yeah, it's before Majin Buu. Oh, and the city that they live in is called Central City.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They got creative with that one.
yeah. In Japanese is Chu no Miyako.
I have to forget that. I forget that these are
Miyako.
originally everything's done in Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they translate it.
Yeah, so like to me, it's like and I think that's sometimes it's just me being an American way that I view things.
And I think that especially back in the day, maybe the primary variant of English that was used was like British English, not American English. So
And
like
that's just
the way they'll spell like center is like, S-E, no, Z, oh my God, C-E-N-T-R-E instead of T-E-R,
Mm-hmm.
So I think back in the day, maybe that was like, and maybe still to this day, I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, I think that's why they say the lift could be, unless they
I
really
just think like
were
it's just
thinking.
funny that you're calling out what the issue is, yet you're still packing in there. Like you're calling like what you're complaining what the problem is, and yet you're still packing into the elevator or the
Oh, the
Yeah,
lift.
yeah, yeah,
staircase. Yeah.
Yeah.
dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would have panicked. I would not have gone in that elevator for just
Well, like
that.
literally someone in there as they're walking into the elevator or lift is talking shit about the lift being the
Yeah,
problem.
yeah,
And then they expect it to work out.
yeah.
Okay. I mean, everyone got what they deserve in this movie.
I mean, for being a high intellectual scientist, that wasn't a 300 IQ move, you know. Um, yeah, so I had a knock on the movie, and my knock in particular was actually Bio Broly, and I'll specify the bio, or
Mm-hmm.
um, like I thought they could have done without the what was that? I don't know that gunk, right?
That
I
feces
don't know what they
colored.
call it.
The
Yeah, I
bio.
thought they could have with I get yeah, the biome. They could have done without it, I thought. And because once that happens, like I know what I understand maybe they're trying to go for,
94.
pardon me, a more like mm, I don't know, like destructive, ominous creature that's like a monster. I feel Broly carries that without that type of like added visual layer. Like he by himself is already a badass. Like he's already destructive. He doesn't need that. And I think by
What
them
part got
adding
you
that,
good?
huh?
What part got you good with Broly?
Oh, yeah. And I'll get to that in a little bit. The part I really loved of the movie. Um, but to me, Broly is like he's one of the most badass characters, and I actually think that adding that like that bio to him, it makes him it has the transverse effect. Like it actually doesn't do that. It makes him look a little more, mm, like a
less threatening.
caricature. Yeah, like
Were
less
you more scared of
less
the
threatening.
Broly that came out, the legendary
Yes.
Super Saiyan,
Like, dude,
or
okay,
that
so
gunk with the
yeah,
couple of
exactly.
seaweed in
Like with
the
the beating
head?
heart right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um and but and to Bless's point, like the part I really liked was when obviously like the Trunks and Goten, they don't know Broly's there. They just think like these are all kind of these artificially created fighters, and when they come across that one like capsule,
Mm-hmm. Or he's just in there.
and yeah, and they see Broly, and they say his name, and then Broly gives him that little stare with the eye,
Mm-hmm.
like, and I loved that part. It didn't say much. It
Tell me
wasn't
if the
like
song
a
wasn't on
whole
point.
bunch of
The music was on point.
dialogue, but just like the fear that invoked in Trunks and Goten, I was like, oh damn, this fool, he's about to like he's about to do some stuff when he gets out of here. He's about to do some stuff. And even when he was coming out and like when the glass shatters and he's coming out, I'm like, oh, okay, this is the Broly I know.
Mm-hmm.
And then here he comes. He gets covered in all of that gunk. And I'm like,
This is not
what are
Broly.
they doing? Like, this is not Broly. So that's my thing. Like, I understand where they went. Like, they tried to make this like he's an artificially recreated form of Broly, and they really tried to hammer that home with like, here's all this gunk on him, and he's this monster. I think they could have done without it. Like I think it would have been fine if they did without it, because adding that gunk, and this is probably why a lot of it turned people off. Like, um, it does the opposite. Like, it makes him look more like a run of the mill type of creature. Like, not there's no substance there. It's like you don't
Yeah, he
know
gets
that's
reduced.
Broly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was my thing. But yeah, other than that, I liked how they handled the movie. Chewin, you
Yeah,
said you had a
I think it's the same. That was my next piece too. I didn't really like the design, like the animation and the design of Bio Broly. I don't know who greenlit this and was like, oh, he looks good. Just throw him out
yeah.
there. You're ready to go. You're ready to hit it on
This
the
is gonna
screen.
this is gonna hit home.
It's
Yeah,
gonna hit home. No, I think yeah, I agree with you. It changes the character. It doesn't. You don't even know that that's the character, and
hmm
and it does look like poop. And we just have to just be honest that it looks like poop, and I think that that's I don't think that that's how Broly was meant to be. And you had mentioned earlier of like why people like dislike this movie. I think a part of that is because of that he gets reduced to this like poop like being, and there is no
yeah,
Goku and there is no Goten. But I also think at this point in history, when this movie came out, we already had two other Broly movies that we've seen what Broly is. And then you show this, and he gets reduced to poop. And I think I think that is what's playing a big role here in like the hate towards this movie, because
yeah.
to me that like I really didn't like the way he looked. I didn't really like him. But then again, I didn't really like the kids either. So I'm on that end. While I appreciate
Well,
Trunks and Goten, I'm not the biggest fan of them in this film.
I
yeah,
love those little guys, man. They did it, man. They did what had to be done, man. Vegeta and Goku ain't coming. Accept it. They're not
Yeah.
coming in this movie. Like they held it down with 18. I'm just gonna bring this up because I'm looking at it on Wikipedia. I think there's a very good reason in the picture. It's Broly in the tube or whatever in the background, not Bio Broly. Like I think that right there
Yeah.
is they understand. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
this movie don't look at really at the end product. Like remember who's in there.
Yeah.
Like that's what happens when you try to recreate something that's not supposed to happen. I mean, and secondly, really, you just got one little piece of blood. All that dry blood there, and that man was only able to get that much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so it's just like, but you know what? That everything had a reason for happening.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't really like that either, though. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't like this movie as much as I thought I did, but it's yeah, the dry blood. I mean, how are you supposed to find that? You know, but that's just kind of the way my mind works. That to me, it doesn't make sense. For the movie, I get, wow, it makes sense. I don't know who that character is, and maybe that's because I haven't seen the movies in sequence that of who
Right.
took the blood. You know, because we essentially jumped to the last one, right, in the Broly trilogy. So,
Yeah.
and the fact that this is the one that ends the trilogy, you know, I don't know if that also plays a role in the way it's
Well,
come out, but
I mean,
yeah,
I think it's cool that we're so attached. Well, it seems like people are really attached to Broly. He's the villain.
yeah,
People love Broly,
So
dude.
like, you're not supposed to like the villain. So why does it matter if he looks like shit? Like, why does that
it's a good
bother you?
question.
He's the bad guy. He's not
Mhm.
doing anything different when he was alive, like actually alive. Like,
Yeah. I
why is
think
it
it's
that? Sorry, go ahead.
I think it's because like these type of characters, their their reputation precedes them, dude. And I'll I'll compare it to like Madara. Um, if Madara came out and looked like some goofball, uh, he wouldn't resonate as much, especially if they took the Madara that, and this is Naruto, if they took the Madara that it has already been displayed to the world, and then they went ahead and like made a caricature of him, like, dwindled him, like dumbed him down, made him like this, like they threw some gunk on him. It would like a lot of, how there's so many passionate fans about Madara. Broly has the same thing. Like he's got a bunch of passionate fans, and it would not sit well with the fan base, um, because like it's not like like a lot of times it's not, is this person good, is this person bad, I only like the good guy. It's what's the story behind this person, how badass is this person, are there different dimensions to this person, to this character. That's what people will be like, that's what people will gravitate to. um I think that's one of the reasons why the new Broly, people tend to like him a bit more than this older Broly. uh but yeah, I think that's why, like, you doing that to Broly, like for me, if I saw Goku coming out with like a whole bunch of gunk on him, I'd be like, what have you done? This is not the Goku that I know, you
Yeah.
know?
Hmm.
You
I think
ruined
that's what
my
happened.
childhood.
I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
I think
And
that's
so
what
I
happened.
think like the potential for this movie to be, I think the movie was good in my opinion, but
Yeah.
and certainly it was better than what I expected it to be, but I think it could have been even better, um had like they just tweaked a few things. Like if we take a look at like Android 13, that thing needs a whole bunch of rewriting for that movie to be good.
Just writing
Like
in
you weren't just,
general. It's just like
yeah,
there's so many
Let's get
fucking
it a
lines in that
story.
movie. Yeah, let's give
yeah,
some characters some lines.
yeah, just writing in general, like add something to
Yeah,
that thing.
yeah.
Uh but yeah, like you weren't just tweaking one or two things, oh here, there, and then here we go, we got a great movie. And I think, the same with some of the other movies we've watched. With this one, it could have been just a tweak or two, and I think it could have been well received by the general public. Because I'm not part of the general public. I actually think the movie's good, and I think like certainly if I talk to someone who hates Bio Broly but they love Fusion 13, hey, listen, that's your prerogative. But let me tell you right now, you're wrong. All right,
Yeah.
all right, like, like I've never, that like it's Dragon Ball, it can't just be reduced, and sometimes it is, to just fighting. Like this template of, hey, let's just go fight. Um, Now there has to be a meaning to the fight. Like there has to be some meat, some substance behind the characters. And so when they try that, I appreciate it. Which is why like I appreciated Bardock, I appreciated Fusion Reborn. I think we're watching Resurrection F next.
Hmm.
Um, I know I watched that movie already. Um, don't remember much about it. I don't know if that will. I
That's
don't know if
probably
that
good.
says a lot.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
says a lot.
Um, but yeah, I mean, this movie I felt like just a tweak or two, like yeah, like you said, you know,
Can I throw out
they,
one tweak that I would do?
yeah, go
What?
ahead,
Like
man.
for sure. Like how about instead of that Bio Broly, why not Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan that can't hold his form? You know what I'm saying? Like his body kind of just kind of goes gooey, but he goes like he still shows himself like it's not Broly, but it's not a pile of crap just walking.
Right.
Like give me
Yeah.
a like remind me who I'm looking like that. Literally, the thing is the issue with Bio Broly is like you forget who they're fighting
Yeah.
outside of like my boy Lord Jaguar yelling
Hmm.
his name because
Yeah,
that
boy,
you
Lord
don't
Jaguar.
remember like he doesn't look like Broly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's and that's fine and it's great that people love and that's just one thing we got that I would do. Is
And
give people like people love Broly.
let me tell you this: I wish they would replace Lord Jaguar with Dr. Gero. I think you could swap the two, and I think Lord
Mm.
Jaguar would have been, in my humble opinion, would have been better. Like,
Well, he has some
uh,
personality. You know what I'm
yeah, he
saying? He has some
does.
personality.
I mean, Dr. Gero, he gets killed by his own folks.
Yeah.
Like they don't even want him, you know. And I like Dr. Gero. I mean, fuck, what the hell did I just say? I
Lord
like
Jaguar.
Lord Jaguar. uh, Sick name. And yeah, this reminds me so much of like, I mean, and you can do this with any anime. Like you can draw parallels anywhere. But Chiwin, if you ever watch Naruto, there's a like a story in the show, one of the very initial ones,
Mm-hmm.
where Zabuza is like a hitman, and bless. Do you remember the name of the dude that hires him? He looks like a Lord Jaguar though. He looks exactly like a Lord Jaguar,
Oh man, I gotta look it up. No,
and
but
and it's kind of the same story, you know, like it's Zabuza and man, I can't believe I'm drawing blanks. But anyways, the point is they handled that extremely well. Like that is taking this type of story and hitting
Amplifying it.
across every mark, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
really delivering on every
and this
piece.
one was that was in the Shonen Jump, huh?
Yeah, that was in Shonen Jump. That was the first mission they go on. But and I like that. Like I love these characters that they're not great fighters. Like they're not fighters at all,
Yeah. No, they're not.
but they're masterminds and they know how to operate, dude. You know,
My boy Gato.
Gato, that boy looks cool in the series. Um, and so yeah, I mean that's my only thing. Like I actually wish, dude, bring Lord Jaguar. I would start that right now. I would start that what is it? That petition to bring Lord Jaguar back. Like,
Yeah. He has a funny dynamic with Hercule. I think that's what really helps him off. Is like that they play
yeah,
off of each other really well. I thought it was funny when that fool looks at him and he's like, "You look like something I put on my mantle." That's what was hella funny. I love Hercule in this movie though. I think
I
he's
thought he was yeah. I love when he's all
my
like
boy, my disciples. That
that
yeah,
that had
yeah.
me rolling. I'm like, oh, okay.
when he goes that he gave up his dream to become a world champion martial artist like him. I'm like, yeah, you're right, bro. Like you're right. Like you're doing it. You're doing
Hercule's
it.
cut from a
No,
different cloth.
they. That's what I'm saying. Like they. I don't know, man. The fact that Lord Jaguar, like we're not supposed to like that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
He's just a throwaway character that
well,
needed to
that and
fill
he's the
the.
whole reason this is all happening.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Like he's
You
an
know, like you
antagonist.
want him, like, dude, like I'm at this one. I remember at one point in the movie, I'm like, you got to let him go. You know, like it's either you take out Broly or you go get Gato and Lord
Lord
Jaguar
Jaguar.
and his little henchman. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I mean, sorry, Trunks has to make a decision: save Goten or go get them from dying.
Right.
Mhm.
And it's like, and that's one, like, to me, it's like you see that dynamic of Vegeta and Goku in this movie. Like, Goten, throughout that whole fight, he's like, I'm sorry, Trunks, but I can't let these guys, like, that's Goku.
Right.
Like, I'm
Yeah.
not going to let them die. Like, if I can save them, bro, you can take a beating. Like, you know you can.
Yeah.
And Vegeta, he's like, all right, I mean, I'm not happy about doing this, but hurry up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
he's getting
saying?
his
Like,
freaking head
yeah,
smashed at one point.
yeah, like, and that's, to me, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I really felt a lot of Vegeta and Goku in this movie.
The dynamic, yeah.
Yeah, like, and they, like, I was blown away with the little guys in this movie. They did a really good job. Like, they could have easily ended it with the first Kamehamehas, like, just let it connect. But come on,
That wouldn't be doing justice to Broly.
that's why they let Trunks finish it with the final flash. When he
Yeah.
takes out Broly, when it's at the end, when he comes out of the water, the seawater.
Well, and that's another thing though. Trunks doing the Kamehameha.
I was about to say
When did that
right now.
happen?
Yeah, how did that-
Vegeta would be rolling over in his grave.
Yeah, dude. Vegeta would be disgusted. I'm
He
sure
do
he was
Galick
rolling
Gun,
over. He did do the
Big
Galaxy.
Bang
I'm sure he
Attack,
made him
Big
proud.
Bang Attack, and
Yep.
Final Flash.
Final
Yeah,
Flash,
but he's doing the
dude.
Kamehameha. I don't know about that
We
one.
don't do that here, bro. We don't. You let them do that.
Yeah, let them do
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
We got
And
our
I don't
own,
even know
we
where
got
he
our own
learned that.
skill set. Yeah, who knows where he learned
it's
it?
cool.
Yeah, I liked it. I really enjoyed their fighting. I actually really enjoyed that last action sequence of the film, like that last third, where they're fighting and Krillin comes in and like Broly's just super like getting on him and he's like it looks like he's about to like curve stomp fucking Trunks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's getting them. I thought it was probably one of some of the better action sequences that I've seen in Dragon Ball movies. I think it was really well done. I liked it. I liked the fighting and the movement that Trunks and I guess I didn't really pay attention to that to what Bless is saying in regards to their dynamic. And now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, it is making sense. Like it is them mirroring their parents and or their fathers, I guess, in the way that they're learning about what their responsibility is. And I think that now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh yeah, they're growing. I wish that they would do that more in the series, but they at least we get at least a little bit here, and I can't knock them for that because I think it is exactly what you said. It is like having Vegeta and Goku without having them there, which I think is a clever thing now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
They did a great job.
They do. And I think this also showed like Krillin can get some actual action and the movie could still do well. Like the way he was reduced to nothingness in Fusion 13 or Android 13, I forget what it's unbecoming.
Any 13?
Yeah. It's unbecoming of what he was. Like I know to most people he's a joke, but he is the strongest human that exists. So that has to count for something. Like people, he doesn't look the most menacing, but that's okay. Like he can still get his in, and he did. I like how please the entrance he had. Oh my god, please. Yeah. So I mean, I liked how they did that. I liked how they deviated from Goku and Vegeta, but like Bless said, they still kind of their children embodied Goku and Vegeta. And then I like how 18, she got her moments. She had her moments. I like how Krillin had his moments. And of course, I mean, Hercule stole the show. I mean, in terms of just presence.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a presence when he steps into the room. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like,
yeah.
You
by
take
far the
Hercule
best
out
part
of this.
for me.
Yeah, you take Hercule out of this, and it doesn't hit the same. So it was a good mix. I definitely think like it wasn't it's not as garbage as people made it out to be. I really thought like this is going to be the worst movie I've seen, but to me the worst movie I've seen is 13, like
so far.
Fusion 13. And
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
You know why I love Kid Trunks and Goten in this? Is they weren't afraid to ask for help. Like, do you remember when Bio Broly's taking that boy for a ride and Android 18 with the busted arm gets up and you just hear him yell, help.
Yeah,
help.
That's something you never
And she
hear.
doesn't hesitate.
Yeah.
She's like, I didn't do anything before, but like I gotta go help that little dude.
Yeah.
Like they weren't afraid to ask for help.
Yeah, which is something you'll never hear Goku and Vegeta do, which would be unbecoming of their characters. So it kind of it's more a little more understandable with Trunks and Goten because they're kids. Because it's like, hey, Goku and Vegeta, if you guys are calling for help, then we're done, bro. Because you guys are the last line of defense, bro. Don't ask me to come help you guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so I kind of like that, and you're allowed to do that with these characters because they are kids. They're not the strongest in the world, but somehow they have to figure this out. And so it's nice. It makes sense to me.
Yeah, so I liked it. I like the fighting. I think my knock with the kids is I didn't really like them pre-fighting. I didn't really like the little banter. I thought the explanation to me, I was like, I thought it was too obvious because at one point Trunks is explaining to him like what biochemical stuff is, and like Goten is acting like, I mean, they're kids, and I mean, sure, he could be a genius, but to me, I'm just like, I don't know why this was necessarily here. I kind of would like them to just keep being mischievous as opposed to like having them talk about things. I don't think that
Trunks
they're
be the one to explain it. Right? Like.
But
yeah, there was moments where he was explaining stuff, and it was just like it was just to me. The way I interpret that is like that was the writers trying to explain to the viewer like what is bio,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, like what that is.
Right.
And I thought it was I think it was too long winded, and I don't really think that we need to know that, to be honest with you, at least in my opinion. Because if you're gonna do that, then you didn't do it for the acid, and you didn't explain what the hell's in there and why it's killing everybody. You're not explaining why Bio Broly's chemical. You know what I'm saying? So to me, you explaining that doesn't add anything because you're not consistently adding that much exposition or explanation for everything that's happening. And,
yeah,
but that's just me.
And yeah, I can see that, and I think like Trunks, knowing that, like if he's that much of a genius, I mean, then this is a privileged mind because you have to remember these dudes are like 10 years old. I think Trunks is younger. I mean, Goten is younger. So, I mean, it's like, hey, Trunks, bro, if you know this at this age, then you got to be out with Goku and Vegeta out on the battlefield, strategizing how to beat
he's
these
10
guys.
years old.
Yeah, dog,
he's
like,
10 years old. Tell me, like, that didn't add a layer to Trunks, though. Like, this dude's smart.
I never knew that.
But tell me that doesn't all go out the window when he looks at Broly and the song starts.
Yeah, he just.
I gotta survive.
They go back to being
like
kids,
what?
right? Mm.
Well, they go to being warriors.
Right.
Like they can't let Broly.
It's like
survive.
A fight or flight.
Like, come on, like let's see. Did you see they're like shut down the containment to 13, and they do it? They're like done, handled, game, and he just walks out through the doors. And it's like, to me, it's like Trunks is very intelligent. And Goten is just having fun, and he's trying to educate the little guy. Like that's what they do. They're boys.
Yeah, Goten not the sharpest tool in the shed.
But Goten realized that it was Broly. That tail, you know what I'm saying? Like Goten, you know what I'm saying? Like his instinct showed him something's not right here.
Right.
Like that may not be Broly, but that dude looks like he's pissed.
Yeah. Nah, and you're right. Like now that we see Trunks is this like he's this intelligent, like yeah, maybe that's a character we want to groom to join us in the big in the big fights, because a mind like that, like I feel can be of value. And so to me it's like, all right, you guys showed us this about Trunks, start using him a little more, like give him a little more love. But
he's a genius.
Yeah, exactly. So and now I wonder if like the older Trunks is like that from the future, and I think he might be. I think he may be. But yeah, I know we normally do reviews, but I don't know if
real quick.
Go ahead.
These scientists didn't realize that salt water handled all this.
Oh,
That's another knock that I have
I'm
on it
saying
too.
like we didn't have
that,
safety protocols to just go ahead and inject some water in this island.
yeah,
You know,
dude.
what are we
They're literally
surrounded by?
surrounded by the thing that would
And I
kill
think that
Bob.
goes to show you like who made this Broly. You know what I'm
not
saying? Like, you know what I'm
inept,
saying?
inept
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what
pseudoscientist.
this Broly is like. You create like what you're not supposed to be doing with not the right intelligence to be doing it.
Mm.
Like, come on, you're
It's a
not gonna
recipe for
reline
disaster.
that whole laboratory with like emergency water to be evacuated into, I don't know, turn it into rock. That's what
The
Goten says. Like,
the
if we would have
gunk.
known this
Yeah.
earlier,
Right.
Yeah.
We could have ended this movie
Crisis
30
averted.
minutes ago.
instead of jumping in a lift to get killed with all the
Right.
homies.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was kind of a bad way to go out, in my opinion. I didn't really like that, but it is what it is. I did do the reviews, so if you that's what you were gonna say, I have the reviews.
Yeah. So, go ahead, man. Read them
All
out.
right. So for this week's reviews, we're gonna have a little bit of varying, 1 to 5 to 3. So we're gonna start off with a 1-star review. This is by Tyler. It says, "This is the movie where everything that can go wrong in a Dragon Ball Z does go wrong. First off, Broly is not a very good villain. Does not deserve 3 movies. Second, this movie is just horribly written. 3, they use the ultimate technique to defeat Broly, and that is ocean water. Yes, it would. That Broly's only true weakness in this movie is ocean water. I wish they would have known that in the first movie. Maybe they wouldn't have wasted our time watching the second and third one. This movie is bad. No matter how you look at it, half a star is most generous rating that I can give it. So that is
Oh, that was
1 star.
scathing.
They hated this.
All right.
Okay. Another one. D. 1 star. Worst DBZ movie of all time. I hate the dumb kids. They just whine and never get anything done. This is about Broly being cloned, and he obviously sucks, turning into mush right away anyways. So it's not even really Broly. It's a run and chase battle all the way through. Absolutely horrible. Okay.
Another scathing review.
Look, there was a lot of 1-star reviews on this. So
Why not? I mean, this is what people think of the movie. I mean, everyone thinks about this movie. I did before I watched it.
All right, another one. Grungy Guy. The worst of all Broly films. The fight were completely boring, and the way Broly died was a waste of my time. The name of this review is called Bio Broly, more like Diarrhea Broly. They shouldn't have even tried to make a film if they were going to make a sensible plot. Not to mention that they use some of the most boring characters in Dragon Ball Z. Don't even bother watching this one. Watch the second one and leave it at that. And I'll just leave there. It just keeps saying that it's boring. And so this person, they loved it. This is a 8-star review out of 10. I loved the first Broly film. So much power. I feel that this movie has just been underrated as a Dragon Ball movie. Just because it didn't follow the typical formulation of the series, it doesn't make it bad. I enjoyed the different setup and fight scenes. The only reason why I deducted a few points was because the movie had a bit of potential that I felt like it did not tap into.
Yep.
And those are our reviews for this week.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I mean, we kept it honest.
They kept it honest. Yeah. I mean, I guess we got to watch the second one, but the second one, it's not that Broly is like his weakness or his kryptonite is salt water. It's that gunk that's on him. It freezes with salt water, the chemicals. So my guys got to go back and rewatch the second movie.
A lot of people should rewatch this movie.
Yeah, because a little inconsistent there. But I mean, and maybe this is, I had not read the reviews, but kind of how I brought up earlier, like maybe part of the reason why they don't like this movie is A, because Goku and Vegeta are not in it, and B, because
apparently everyone loves Broly.
Yeah, and B, because Broly's and that first guy, he said, or the first reviewer said that I think it was the first one, that Broly is a trash villain, which is a trash character, which is a conversation to be had. And that's for that particular viewer. But Broly overall, he's like he's loved. Like people love that character. So I understand why they used Broly. Um, and then you know, this is my opinion. We can't ask for Dragon Ball like if the story of Dragon Ball is just going to be Goku and Vegeta, Goku and Vegeta, Goku and Vegeta, then you can't complain when it's just Goku and Vegeta, Goku and Vegeta.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, like it's okay for other characters to get some shine. Like that's how they get their character development. That's how they're and now you can say, well, they're not being used as much in the actual series, and that's a conversation, and that is true. But I appreciate them going out of their way to use other characters, because if not, we're gonna, and a lot of people already have it, where they're like just Goku and Vegeta fatigued,
Yeah.
you know, and like this is why I feel like Dragon Ball struggles with like creating new characters because maybe I don't know how large, but a portion of the fan base doesn't really care for new characters. They just want to see the same ones, so they keep bringing Frieza back. You know, Trunks came back. We got another iteration of Goku, even though it's Goku Black. It looks like something that we recognize. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
like to me, I appreciate when the writers of Dragon Ball go out of their way to shed some light on some of these other characters, um, because if not, then it's just like, oh, Goku and Vegeta, Goku and Vegeta, and then you know you'll never get any other characters involved. But hey, I mean, hey, people feel the way they feel, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a hard fan base to please. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think this movie is a clear, it's a clear example of, uh, just like the power of influence that people have on social media and just the internet in general. How that can sway somebody's perception of something without even giving it a chance, and it coming from disgruntled fans. Like I think as I was reading those yesterday, like a lot of the 1-star reviews were just really disgruntled people that were like, you know, this sucks because it's not really Broly and it's not, there's such an attachment to certain parts of the anime that, you know, when you change it, and it may or may or not look that good, it's kind of hard to pay attention to what actually is happening, because if you actually pay attention to what's happening, it's actually a pretty good story. It's actually a pretty, I mean, is it the strongest? No, but it's solid. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a solid story.
Yeah, you can
So
follow it. It's certainly
yeah,
better than
it's probably one of the
13.
most consistent ones that I think we've seen. One of the most consistent
Yeah, for
stories.
sure. And there's a I was gonna share this podcast with you guys. There's another podcast. It's called the Trash Taste Podcast, and they do like a lot of anime reviews. It's three YouTubers, three big ones that they live in Japan. What two are from the UK and one is from Australia. They all three moved to Japan. They do reviews, and they had this one like segment. They talked about the Dragon Ball fan base and like how they're so. I mean, you got to be careful when you go in there. You know what I'm saying? Like some of them
Why?
individuals are vicious, you know, and they'll get on you for any little thing. Like you could just say, God forbid you say Goku's stronger than Vegeta, or Vegeta's always gonna be Goku, or like Vegeta's stronger than Goku. Dude, some people are gonna come at you, and
Stick
they're
by your
gonna
guns. If
they're
that's how you
gonna
feel, that's how you feel.
yeah,
Vegeta's
that's how you,
underrated.
huh?
Vegeta's underrated.
Oh yeah, he's underrated. Barbosa, a special guest that may or may not be making an appearance in the future.
Mm-hmm.
He said that Toriyama hates Vegeta.
Yeah, he has a theory that he hates him. Is that like an
Yeah,
actual thing, or is that fool just pulling
I
facts out of
don't
his
know,
ass?
man. Well, you know how it is. We'll have
Yeah.
to ask him to expand on that when he gets
Well,
here,
once he's here, yeah, if he comes on.
if he ever does. Yeah, but
The invite's there.
yeah,
Let's do our reviews, yeah.
yeah.
Sir.
You want to start, Cheween?
Sure. I give this movie 4 stars. It's better than 13. To me, it's not better than Fusion Reborn or Bardock. So I am keeping it at a 4. I enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. I didn't the things that I didn't like, I really didn't like. So
Hmm.
that's why it's at a 4 for me.
What
I still
about you,
recommend
Bless?
people to give it a chance though, as I say that.
Right.
Um, I gotta give it a 7.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
For
gonna
our
give it
first
7 Dragon
7 of the
Balls.
season.
Yeah,
First 7. Yep.
it's really good. It's really
Yeah.
underrated.
It's certainly underrated.
Layers to the story.
Yeah. And I mean, and you get shine from a bunch of characters, you know. And I know I keep harping back on. I don't even. That's how for like uh forgettable this movie was. 13. I don't know if it's Fusion 13 or Android 13.
Uh-huh.
Um, but like, you know, the characters are just so underwhelming, and in this movie, like, they got a bunch of love. I love how they handled it. Like, out of all the movies, I think this movie handled the characters the best. You know, like Fusion Reborn, I made this point last week. Like, I felt like they could have done without the story on Earth. You know, to me, it was them obviously trying to answer the question, well, like, what's going on Earth if the gates of hell have been opened? But the characters weren't memorable. You know, in this one, Hercule 18, Goten Trunks, like Lord Jaguar, they all had like a nice um some
Io Broly.
substance. Bio Broly. Um, so they all had some substance. I like how they handled them. Um, but yeah, me, I'd give it a 5 out of 7. I don't know that I'll give any movie a 7 out of 7. We'll see. But a 5 out of 7, like, this is a movie it's worth watching. I certainly don't believe it's as garbage as some people make it out to be. Uh, and I think the things it does well, it does pretty darn good. Uh, like I said, Hercule, I mean, he steals the show. Like, he's a goofy character. He's a huge goofball, dude. Like, no one's scared of
Mm-hmm.
him, okay? But he's able to keep this persona. Like, Lord Jaguar's petrified of this man. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
man, if 18, Trunks, Goten, if they're doing this, God forbid if I have to face off against Hercule, you know? So, like, I just think I like how they less was more. You know, they didn't have a bunch of characters. They had a few, but all of them had a nice part to play in this movie. Yeah, they threw in Goku at the end just to be like, hey, just fans, don't
I didn't
forget.
even know he was there. I didn't even know that.
Right. Um, just I think it was just like to appease some of the fans that were like, we really watched the whole Dragon Ball movie and we didn't see Goku. Like, they threw him in there.
Like I gotta rewatch it. At least the ending. I really don't remember seeing him.
Yeah,
He's
he's
in
at
there
the
for
end.
like half a
Yeah,
second.
yeah.
I gotta
Uh,
watch it now.
Um, yeah, you just gotta watch it again.
Well, I mean, how did I miss that? No, seriously.
Yeah.
Like
Well, I
that's
guess.
for me. Is like I don't. I honestly did not see him. I had no idea he was in this movie.
Yeah, he's just in the end for like a second.
Tell me they don't care about their fans.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, they threw that in there just to be like, hey, disgruntled fans that didn't see Goku, just yeah,
Here
here
he
he
is.
is.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, 5 out of 7. I think it's worth a watch. I don't think, like, don't be swayed by public opinion. Form your own opinion. You know, watch it. If you think it's trash, that's fine. That's your, prerogative, and you can think that. But if you think it's good, that's fine also. Like, everyone has their own palette as far as
OT.
like what they
Mm-hmm.
like, and so don't be swayed by whatever I made that mistake. I had a preconceived notion of the movie because of what I heard on like social media, some of the YouTubers, and and what I thought was not what I believe now. So yeah, 5 out of 7. Five out
All
of
right.
seven 5 Dragon Balls out of 7 Dragon Balls, to be clear.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Well, it seems like we've come to the end of the road for this episode.
Yes, we have.
All right. So thank you, everyone, for taking the time to listen. We enjoy talking about these Dragon Ball movies. We enjoy unpackaging the movies. And you know what? Sometimes this going through this, watching the movie, it will change our opinions on what we thought the movie was, you know? And so I'm eager to see this for the movies we have left to watch, you know? I feel like there are a few surprises down the road. So thank you everyone for taking the time to listen. Please like the video, subscribe if you watch this on YouTube. Listen to us on all of the platforms that include Spotify, Apple, I think Acast probably. Yeah, all
we're on a
the
bunch of them. Yeah, we're on a bunch of them.
yeah, all
It'd be
the
hard not to find us. Seriously.
exactly. And yeah, we have a few guest appearances in mind in the future. Some may knock your socks off. And yeah, you know, no, thank you for taking the time to listen. We'll leave our Twitter handles down in the description, and yeah, tune in for next week. And until next week, stay safe.
Ninja.